Welcome to the BlitzCity Podcast. I'm your host, Kobe Orr. And today, as promised, I do this every year, we are going to be breaking down the Jackson State recruiting class, the 2024 early signing day recruiting class. Keep in mind, this is for people who have signed their national letters of intent, not for people who are just committed. So yes, I know you have more players. If you don't see them on here, I didn't miss them. They just have not signed their letters of intent. They're only committed. When they sign it in February, we'll go back and we'll do another video for them signing, and then, we'll be all good. So just letting y'all know that. Let's get into it because y'all kept me up all night with this. I'm going to be honest. So let's start off with Terrell Jr., the quarterback, 6'2", 185 pounds, from Louisville, Texas. Now, this is a legacy kid. I didn't know that, all right? I didn't know he's a legacy guy with Jackson, as far as Jackson State goes. But this guy, as a sophomore, man, he came in, it was unanimously voted a 6A offensive newcomer of the year. This is a guy who put up 2,300 yards, 2,368 to be exact, with 18 touchdowns in his sophomore season. Then he comes back in his junior year, right? And he has a 62% completion percentage, throws for 1,200 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. And on the ground, he had 985 yards rushing with 17 rushing touchdowns. A true dual threat quarterback in every sense of the word. Terrell is the quarterback of the future. There you have it. He's elusive. He's a playmaker. He's poised in the pocket. I like it. I like the fact that he's balanced in his attack. He can quite literally carry you through the air, or he can do it on the ground. When he's running with the football, when he's buying time in the pocket, he ain't looking to just take off, much like Jacoby and Morton, right? He's looking downfield, and if he has to take off, he will do so. This is a talented young man. After Terrell, we have KJ Chisum, a guy from South Carolina who I'm so mad at y'all. I'm so mad at y'all for getting, but I'll let that go. So KJ Chisum is an athlete from Well Branch High School. Shout out to him. Now he is 5'10", 160 pounds, and he had offers from schools like App State, but he's a two-way athlete. This is a guy who is a straight ball magnet at Well Branch, right? That's just what he was. If you look at him at DB, the amount of throws going his way, insane. And here's the thing, right? Here's why I think he's such a talented defensive back, even though those picks may have looked easy. At some point, after you're racking up interceptions during the season, other coaches are looking at this film, and they just kept throwing him the ball. So two things have to come from that. Number one, either he's really good at deceiving you into making you think that your receiver is open, and then he just comes up for the football, or you just think that he's not that good and he's getting any interceptions, and you try picking on him and he's getting these interceptions anyway. Either way it goes, KJ is a guy. He is that guy. He is a dog, and I would love to see him on offense, but y'all have so many weapons on offense that I wouldn't mind seeing him on defense as well. Wherever he goes, he's going to be a baller, whatever side of the ball he goes to. I like KJ. He's a low country boy. Y'all know how we do, all right? After that, we got Joshua Nobles, a 6'3", 255-pound defensive end from Camden, New Jersey, where he attended Eastside High School, but he is a transfer from in his whole career in Florida. He comes to Jackson State, and he's an absolute monster who got drafted to the NFL, and now he's still on a roster spot starting for the Lions. After Joshua, we got Terrell Jr. Terrell Jr. is 5'10", 165, a 3-star dual sport athlete, 2-time first-team All-Region, All-State from Creekside High School, Georgia. This dude has the accolades for days to back up his play. So listen, he's a kick return specialist. I mean, let's start there. The vision is extraordinary on this kid, all right? He had offers from James Madison, from UAB, of course, Jackson State, and Georgia Southern. This kid could have quite literally been at the FBS level with his talents, but he is at Jackson State, and this is such an underrated get for me. When I say y'all have so many gadget players already from last year's class and now this year's class, Where do you put these kids? I don't know, but this dude is another one who I'm confident in is going to be a playmaker at some point in his career for Jackson State. His vision is what sticks out to me the most when I watch his tape. I just love the way he's able to maneuver in tight spaces, okay? When everything is collapsing around him, it's like time slows down in his head and he can see the out. He can see the opening, he can see the hole, and then he just hits it. Okay, so I like Travis Terrell Jr.'s game. Okay, I don't think I mentioned the size, but just in case I didn't, 5'10", 165. You got an absolute dog on your hands when it comes to him. You guys should be very excited about what he brings to the table for the Jackson State Tigers. This was a great get, phenomenal get even for you guys. Next up, we have Kobe Boyin. That's right. Y'all know who Kobe Boyin is. We just did a video on him not too long ago. Another athlete, right? 5'8", 155-pound, four-star recruit from Miami, Florida. He is of the class of 2024. This is a kid who is top 25 in the nation as an athlete. I mean, he's an absolute beast. He's a stud. And the kid has the offers to prove it. 22 of them to be exact before signing with you guys. He had Utah and Utah State, Arkansas State, Campbell, Charleston Southern, Georgia State, Grambling, Hawaii, Liberty, Maryland, Memphis, Penn State, San Diego State, Tennessee State, Texas A&M, UNLV, Washington State, Arizona State, Colorado, Morgan State, Pittsburgh, and San Jose State. This dude is an absolute dog. And like I said in my previous video, I recognize this kid. I found this kid a year ago during his junior season in high school, and I thought when Morgan State offered him, this could be a good get for Morgan State, because at the time he was a three-star prospect, not getting a lot of looks, and then his recruiting just exploded. And now here I am talking about him at Jackson State. Okay, this kid is a back-to-back MVP in his high school league. He's first team all-conference. He's first team all-state. He's second team all-Orange County. In his junior year, he totaled 1,150 yards. He had 7.6 yards per carry on 15 touchdowns and 38 receptions for 674 yards, 17 yards per catch, and 10 touchdowns. An absolute baller. That's all you can say about him. Kid's an absolute baller. Next up, Tony McCra Jr. from Georgia State. Kid has 3 years left of eligibility at 5'11", 181 pounds. He is a DB. He had offers from Alabama State, Alcorn, and Valley, just to name a few. He's from Clarksdale, Mississippi. This is a guy who was a 3-star cornerback coming out of high school from Lake Cormorant High School, where he attended. Okay, he was first team all-district. He had 35 total tackles, 4 interceptions, 5 pass deflections, a fumble recovery, 365 all-purpose yards, and 269 kick return yards in his time in high school. So he goes to Georgia State afterwards. At Georgia State in the 2021 class, he had a knee injury, so he was redshirted. And that knee injury was significant, okay? It was significant. So he had a knee injury, comes back in 2022. You're just getting used to playing football at the college level after having a knee injury. It's going to take some time. Your stats ain't going to be eye-popping. So he only had 2 total tackles, a forced fumble, and that was that. And in 2023, he played in 5 games, had 7 total tackles, 6 of them were solo, and 2 pass deflections. After that, he decided my time at Georgia State was up, entered the transfer portal. The rest is history. He's now at Jackson State. I think this is a kid who, now that he has his bearings under him, could have a major turnaround in his college career at Jackson State. And this provides a lot of competition in that DB room. You're going to love to see it. Jaheim Hazel, K5, all of these guys are still there. Batman Mitchell. It's going to be great. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great competition. Next up, we got Buie, a guy whose hometown is just 13 minutes away from Jackson. Had no idea. So he's truly coming home. That boy can go home every day if he wanted to, right? So Kazarius, man, he comes from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. This is a guy who totaled 45 total tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 6 sacks in just 10 games in his last season at the JUCO level. Yes, he is a defensive lineman, if I forgot to add it. This is a dude. This is a dude. There's nothing after that. That's what I'm saying. He's a guy. Like, this dude is a baller, right? Losing Antonio Doyle, this is the type of production that you want to keep. This is the type of production that you want to bring in. A guy who's experienced, he's got 2 years of experience at the college level. He's coming in, he's ready, he's productive, and you know he'll have that same sort of success at Jackson State. The conglomerate of the defensive line for Jackson State is looking really good right now because they went out and they got experienced guys for that defensive line. And let's keep it on defense. All right, Jaden Ward, a linebacker, 6'2", 220 pounds from Northwestern State. Before that, he attended Trinity Valley Community College from Wallace, Texas. This is a guy who had 46 tackles, 1 sack, 1 pass deflection. In 2021, he was 4th team all-conference, all right, according to Phil Steele at least. And this dude is just a hard hitter, man. He is an absolute hard hitter. He will ring your bell, all right, much like Shiloh was a couple of years prior. This dude, you got another one again. You have a thumper, a punisher. You don't want to run in his direction. I can come up with words for days. Just know, don't run in this man's direction unless you want to end up on his highlight reel. Next up, Tamar Wells, a defensive tackle, 6'1", 280 pounds from Coahoma Community College. Y'all are hating the community college ranks pretty heavily, and I love it. So Hollandale, Mississippi, that's his hometown, where he attended Simmons High School. Now, he did so well at the JUCO level that he had offers from Alabama State, Alcorn, Valley, Tennessee Martin, Ole Miss, North Alabama, UCA, and man, dude is just an absolute disruptor. Like, the defensive line is something that y'all should be very excited about because now this makes the 3rd experienced guy so far who's going to come be a part of that defensive line and help bolster it to make it even that much better. You have to love the strategic thinking by Coach O in this sense, man. Watching his tape, he's strong. He disrupts every play. One of those guys, so he doesn't necessarily have to make the tackle to impact the play, and you just love to see that from time on. So we'll see what he does next season for Jackson State. But let's keep this thing going because y'all got a lot of people to get through. So Mason Barton, 6'6", 310 pounds, an offensive lineman from West Memphis. This is a kid who we talked about on Ken's Live. I love him. He's an offensive lineman. I love him. Let me tell you something. The way this kid is able to finish blocks is something that not a lot of these guys can do. I have seen no other offensive lineman, even at the high school ranks that y'all have gotten, finish blocks the way that this kid does. My money is on him. Like, I want to run the ball behind him. You feel me? Mason Barton is that guy. He's an all-conference guy, of course. At 6'6", 310 pounds, this kid runs a 5'5" in the 40. All right, and he just has a mean streak on him. You got to love the way he plays the game. Like, there's just a tape of his final game and at the high school level. In the playoffs, mind you, say he's going hard because it's win or go home. This man is pancaking every play. Every play. He took no plays off. That's the kind of kid you want on your team. After Mason Barton, we got Devin Lafayette, a safety from NIU. This is a guy who speaks production, all right? I mean, in his career at NIU, he had 123 tackles, 5 pass breakups, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, and he did have a knee or a leg injury at some point in his college career because you do see pictures of him with that brace on. But clearly, I mean, he's healed from that. That's not a bother to him anymore. It's just what it is. That's what he had. This is a guy who brings a lot of production into that safety room. I mean, you look at guys like Tim Stewart, who I think is coming back. E6 as well is in that room. And now you add Devin Lafayette. Competition is needed at every position because that's going to make you go harder. That's going to make you play better. Now you just add more depth. I love the depth. Defensively, the depth is there. Somebody's going to stick out. You're going to get a lot of dogs. After Devin Lafayette, we have Brian Williams Jr., another offensive lineman from the high school ranks. He attended Creekside High School. He's 6'3", 308 pounds. He was a two-time first-team all-region player. This kid had offers from Norfolk, Hampton, Austin P, Morgan State, Lenore-Ryan, UNC Charlotte. I mean, this dude, man, out of College Park, Georgia, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast. I like Brian Williams too. Him and Mason Barton together, as a matter of fact, is a scary sight. Could you imagine these two double teaming you at some point? Could you imagine it? Like, especially at their peaks in college, that's not something I want to see. As a matter of fact, I would bet that these two are going to be starting around the same time when it is their turn to be with the first team for Jackson State. The future looks very bright for Ethan Terrell with the guys that he has blocking for him. And we ain't even got to the best part yet. Keeping this thing going, man. Courtney Ly, another offensive lineman who is 6'5", 295 pounds from Southwest Mississippi Community College. This kid plays tackle, this kid plays guard, and this kid plays center. He is a very versatile offensive lineman. So listen, avoid this guy at all costs during a double team, or you will be sorry. You will be buried in the dirt. You will be in this highlight tape. I'm telling you right now, he gets after it. As a defensive lineman, when you take on a double team, there's one guy who you'd rather take on in that double team more than the other one. He's the guy you avoid. You don't want to go up with him. You want to go against the weaker one. I'm telling you, Courtney Ly is just an absolute maniac. And he's very athletic. So we talking about run blocking. If it's pass blocking, I've seen this kid get so athletic. I've seen his feet be so swift with more agile defensive linemen coming his way in his tape, and he just stood right there and held them boys in check. I don't even think they got past the line of scrimmage. This kid is very athletic, okay? Love him. He's coming from community college. He's an experienced guy. He's a guy who had offers from Norfolk, Southern, Tennessee Martin, UAPB, Akron, ETSU, Delaware State, and AP. I wrote that down. I don't even know who AP is, but he had an offer from him, okay? And after that, Xaven Davis from Louisville. This is the best part I was talking about just a few minutes prior. He also is the little brother of Quay Davis, the freshman offensive tackle that y'all had start. But y'all know this already, especially if you were paying attention during Ken's Live. So 6'5", 370 pounds. He's coming in. He's got his brother there already, who's gotten plenty of playing time in his freshman year. So now he's got his brother. So that adjustment to the college level just got a lot of easier because his big brother is there. Okay, he is a 6A first-team all-district selection as a sophomore, a second-team all-district player after that. He comes with accolades himself. He's coming to Jackson, Mississippi to make a name for himself. So this is the last time I'm going to refer to him as Quay Davis' little brother. I'm just saying that because it's a fact. Okay, Xaven Davis is his own man. Make no mistake about it. And he's going there to Jackson, Mississippi as his own man. So listen, can't wait to see what he does. He's gonna be blocking alongside his brother in practice or wherever at some point, and that's gonna be must-see content. Hopefully we get a chance to see that. Next up, Devin Love, another offensive lineman. He's a guard, though, 6'5", 315 pounds, 3-star, okay, 2-time unanimous first team all-district from Louisville, Texas. Another one coming with Ethan Terrell Jr. He must absolutely love this. I know he does. So, man, these guys, all of these offensive linemen, they're coming with a lot of accolades. They're guys who are proven at their past levels, all right? And now you know that there's a little bit more confidence in them coming to the college level and being good. Y'all, this is now double-digit linemen for you guys in this recruiting class. So listen, he had offers from Liberty, McNeese, and he was actually committed to San Diego State University in the FBS school, but he decommitted, and now you guys got him. This is quality depth right here. This is what I'm talking about, quality depth for Jackson State. You should be very happy that you're getting these kinds of players. After Devin Love, we have Antonio Ross Jr., 6'5", 335-pound offensive lineman from Flowood, Mississippi, and where he attended Hartwood Academy. Speaking of offers, Alcorn, Valley, Wright State, Mississippi State. He is a run game specialist. That's what I love about Antonio Ross Jr. He's great in helping you move the chains on the ground. He's a guy his stock started rising very fast out of nowhere, right? Like his stock started rising out of nowhere. And that happens for a lot of guys in high school. They might be late bloomers. They start playing well. Scouts finally start taking notice and their stock is rising. So you guys got him at the right time. I mean, this is a kid who had 11 pancakes in one game. 11 pancakes in one game. That is spectacular production. And now you got him on your team. So congratulations to y'all. These are quality offensive linemen, one after the other. So I don't envy the guy whose decision it is to start these guys or to choose the starting five. I don't envy you at all because these are great quality linemen. Next up, Richard Maye Jr. Okay, Richard Maye Jr. is a wide receiver who is 6'2", 200 pounds from Ridgeland, Mississippi. This dude, I think he's coming from Colin as well, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a guy, man, who, I mean, let's be real. Even with some of the guys who left, Jackson State's wide receiver room is still very deep, okay, very talented. And we'll have to see what Richard Maye Jr. is good at and what exactly is going to separate him from the rest of the receivers going forward. And now we have yet another wide receiver, Janen Dupri, who is the grandson of Marcus Dupri. Crazy enough. So listen, Mr. Dupri is dangerous. I saw this kid's tape. Love him. He's one of the guys who I want to see on that field immediately. Listen, man, this dude is so dangerous in that slot. It's crazy. It's just one little move, one little plant, and he has at least 5 yards of separation. He's speedy. He's quick. He's dangerous. He's a deep threat. He's a guy who I have to see in that. He doesn't have to be starting, right? But he got to be in that rotation. He's a guy who's going to get those big plays for you, man. If he's in the game and I'm Jacoby and Morgan, I'm looking at him first. I don't care what the play is. I'm looking at him first, and I'm looking at that matchup because I know 9 times out of 10, he going to make something shake. This is a dude who you don't want to be lined up across on the other side of the football. And I'm going to have to speed this up a little bit because y'all got so much people that I am actually running out of space on my phone. So I got to kind of hurry this up a little bit more. After him, we have Brandon Mitchell, a wide receiver who is 6'3", 180 pounds from Memphis, Tennessee, and he attended Middle College. Now, at some point, he had a final 2 of Valley and Jackson State. That is who his final 2 was. And of course, he chose Jackson State. But shout out to Valley because they are doing a damn good job of recruiting right now. So really shout out to them that they made it this far with this kid as well. He had offers from Tennessee State and Southeastern Missouri, Bethel, and UNK, which is a school in Kentucky. There's a lot of schools in Kentucky, let's be honest. This kid is big, he's fast, he's tall, and he's strong. Like, he's the prototypical wide receiver that a lot of schools want when they're looking for that guy, when they're looking for a combination of a balanced, just really good wide receiver. He has all the attributes, and that's why he might be playing earlier than you expected him to because he has all of those tributes, because he has all of those attributes. But we'll see. It's not guaranteed because he's 6'3", almost 200, but this is a guy who has it all. Next up, we have Sadique Thompson, a DB from Moss Point, Mississippi, who attended Moss Point High School. At 6'3", 178 pounds, this is a kid who you like. Trust me. He kind of reminds me of Jaheim Hazel as far as the build goes, but he's just one of those long, rangy corners that you like to see. 6'3", not many guys are going to catch over him. He has bunnies. That wingspan is going to knock a lot of balls down, okay? This kid has offers from Valley, Norfolk, Alcorn, Tuskegee, KCU, and Graceland. He's a guy who paired opposite on the opposite side of K5 or Jaheim Hazel is going to get his. And you love to see it add more depth at DB. Love what Jackson State is doing. Again, last but not least, we have Adrien Owens Jr., a.k.a. Rari, a linebacker who is 6'2", 208 pounds from Houston, Texas. Now, when I made that video to him previously, of course, he hit me up. He said, hey, those stats, they're not accurate. And I was like, okay, that's my bad. It's just Lamar's website had it inaccurate. So I said, all right, well, you give me the accurate information. And he did. So let's go through it the right way. So check this out. He started off at Lamar, all right? During his time at Lamar, this dude was a beast. I'm talking about leading the team in tackles as a freshman, bro, with no starts. He led the team in tackles as a freshman with no starts, my guy. Check this out. Then while at the JUCO level, right, he had offers from Missouri State, Tennessee State, Houston Baptist, New Mexico State, Towson, and Alcorn, and of course Jackson State. He was a blue blood All-American preseason All-American going into his sophomore year while he was at Lamar. All right. Had 12 total tackles versus SMU. He had 16 total tackles in his last game before redshirting and leaving the program. And then, of course, like I said, he had all that success in JUCO, which led to those offers, and now he's at Jackson State. This is a dude who if he could lead the team in tackles as a freshman, you feel me? Imagine what he can do for Jackson State. This is a guy who's going to come in and make an immediate impact for you guys' defense, and one who I for sure am very excited to see. I'm like, you're talking about an absolute dog, bro. An absolute dog at linebacker. And you guys got him. Great depth, all right, which that he provides. All right, Adrien is going to be that guy. I see. See why they call him Rari, bro. I really do. So listen, that is your 2024 recruiting class for the Jackson State football team. I need to make this quick because I am running out of storage again. Y'all, let me know what you think about this class down below. Like I said, this is for guys who have signed their letter of intent. All right, those guys who didn't but are committed, we will talk about them in the February breakdown. But with that being said, y'all are watching the BlitzCity Podcast. I will see y'all next time as I decide what other squat school I'm going to do next. But I'm out. Peace.